Good afternoon, students. You're welcome to our second English class for today. Hopefully, now we can continue with the lesson. And we are continuing, with our Unit 2, Personal Identity. In Lesson 3, or in this lesson, we shall be discussing you and your family. But before we start, as usual, let's have a warm-up activity. And our warm-up activity is a proverb. The proverb is like father, like son. I'm pretty sure you must have heard this proverb before. Like father, like son. Do you understand this proverb? Do you know any equivalents in Russian or Kyrgyz? Like father, like son. What does it mean? Like father, like son. What does it mean? Like father, like son. Okay, I'll leave you with that one for you to discuss what it means, like father, like son. What is the deep meaning that this proverb has? Okay, a little peep into what we shall be doing today. The activities for today shall be doing some work in our course book, which includes vocabulary work, two speaking activities and a quiz. Then we have one simple group task that we are going to do together. Let's breeze right in. Uh-huh. So here's our first vocabulary activity. In this activity, we are expected to learn some vocabulary that has to do with the family. On this part here, you can see some vocabulary that have or that has to do with family. Mother and father, your parents, your uncle's wife, your aunt and uncle's children, people from the same family, brothers and sisters of exactly the same age. So basically, what we are going to do here is that we are going to first of all look at these questions here. We shall read together. How much do you know about your family? How much do you know about your family? This is a good question for you to ponder, to think about. What are your grandparents' first names? What are your grandparents' first names? Do you know it? Where were your parents born? You can answer as many of these questions as you can. The purpose of this is as you answer these questions, already the questions presents you with some vocabulary about family that you should learn. You can see we're already talking about grandparents, we're talking about uncles, we're talking about aunties, we're talking about cousins and stuff like that. So hopefully you can answer these questions and in the process learn about family vocabulary. So I'm going to start again. What are your parents' first names? Where were your parents born? How many brothers and sisters did your grandparents have? Where were your great grandparents born? What is your father's date of birth? How many aunts and uncles have you got? What are their full names? How many cousins have you got? Can you name them all? Have you got any relatives you've never met? Have any members of your family emigrated to other countries? Who and where? The word emigrated means leave where they are to go to another country. Let's scroll down a bit so that we can get a good picture. Are there twins in your family? If so, are they identical? Do they look alike or not? So, after reading these questions now, let's look here. Look at the definitions below and in the quiz. What are the following words for? Mother and father. What is the word mother and father for? Hmm? Of course, these are the words for our parents. Mother and father, they are parents. Your parents' parents. What are your parents' parents? What is the word for your parents' parents? Of course, Did I hear you say that? Of course, grandparents. What is the word for your uncle's wife? What is the word for your uncle's wife? What is the word for your aunt and your uncle's children? What is the word for people from the same family? What is the word for brothers and sisters of exactly the same age? Okay? So we need to figure out these words from these questions that from these vocabulary words that we have done right here. And you can see this. Does this ring any bell to you? It looks like uh, a tree with roots under the ground, huh? With heads on it. A diagram like this that shows a diagram like this can be used to describe the members of a particular family, from the grandparents or the great grandparent to the children to the grandchildren and all that. It is referred to as a family tree. We will talk about that a little bit maybe as we proceed in the lesson today. Let's move on to the next activity. So this next activity is a speaking activity right now. With a partner, ask and answer the questions in the quiz. The questions we just looked at, answer it in pairs. Which questions are hard to answer? Definitely there are some questions that are hard to answer, especially those ones talking about the great grandparents. Hopefully you've met them or hopefully you've heard about them. Is there any way you can find out your personal missing information? Is there any way you can find out your personal missing information? So please do these three activities and ask yourselves these questions. Okay, look at this picture here. This is a picture of a very large family. Everybody is here. Perhaps it's possible we have grandparents, great grandparents, grandchildren, parents, and all that here. So, what does this picture tell you about? Especially with the speech box, what they've said. Okay, I pretend to be you, and you can pretend to be me. What does this tell you? These girls are identical twins. You can hardly tell them apart. Okay, so here again we have a quiz. The quiz is for you to answer. Okay, it's for you to answer. How much do you know about your family? This quiz will help you to determine how much you know about your family. Kyrgyzstan, like I know it, is a family kind of place where family is very important. So let me know how much you know your family by getting all the questions in this quiz right. We'll go through it together. What are your grandparents' first names? Where were your parents born? How many brothers and sisters did your grandparents have? Where were your great grandparents born? What is your father's date of birth? How many aunts and uncles have you got? What are their full names? How many cousins have you got? Can you name them all? Have you got any relatives you've never met? Have any members of your family emigrated to other countries? Who and where? Are there twins in your family? If so, are they identical? Answer these questions and show me how much you know about your family. Okay, lastly but not the least, we are going to do these group activities. Okay, in this group activity, just simply talk to each other and try to complete this task. And this task here 1. Write the family members under the correct headings. Here, there are different family members here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 in total. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You also have 12 spaces here. Put these family members into the male category and female category. The simplest ones or two examples have been done. A son is a male, a daughter is a female. Fill in the rest to the appropriate place in the column where it belongs. Number two, use words from each column to complete the sentences. Okay? Here we have four sentences. Actually, we have four sentences, or actually five. We have five sentences and one, two, three, four, five words on the left and five words on the right. You are to match these words and use them to complete these five sentences. The first one has been done. It is, who do you think you are? Is a popular TV program which helps people to find out about their what. So it has been done for you. You match family and history together to give you family history. So you can't use family and history anymore. You have to pair others here to fill the rest of this. So I repeat, who do you think you are? Is a popular TV program which helps people to find out about their family history. Although Matteo and Valentino are what? Complete it, find a word here, find a word from here and a word from here to add together to complete this. I know who's who because Matteo is just a bit taller. 3. My grandparents still live in the house which my dash built. 4. Paco Pina is a famous flamenco guitarist. His dash is Francisco Pina Perez. Find a word here to complete it. I was born on 25th June 2003. What's your dash? Find the words here to complete it. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. It's a group work, okay? Put yourselves together. Okay, pair up and try to complete this. In 5 minutes, I will come back and do the correction. Okay? So how are we doing? Okay. So hopefully we are done now. Let's try and see if we are right or wrong. Okay? So for male, we have son. Aunt, of course, will be in the female. Brother will be in the male side. Father will be in the male side. Grandfather will be on the male side. Grandmother will be on the female side. Husband will be on the male side. Mother will be on the female side. Sister will be on the female side. Uncle will be on the male side and wife will be on the female side. Now, for number two, although Matteo and Valentino are identical twins, I know who's who because Matteo is just a bit taller. Number three, my grandparents still live in the house which my great grandparents built. Great grandparents built. Number four, Paco Pina is a famous flamenco guitarist. His or his full name his full name is Francisco Pena Perez. I was born on 25th June 2003. What's your date of birth? What's your date of birth? So these are the corrections for the work. So finally, a homework for you. Make your family tree. Make your family tree. You mustn't use this diagram here. You can use another diagram. You can draw it yourself. Start with your grandparents or your great grandparents, then show it as it goes down to your parents, to the children's the children that they have, and to the grandchildren and stuff like that. However, if you do not know much about a family tree, you can do a little research. Just get your phone, get your Google, on your Google, type in family tree, look at some diagrams, look at some pictures, and look at some write up about what a family tree is, and come up with a wonderful, wonderful family tree for your homework. Okay? All right. So, this is what we have to do today. Good luck to you with your individual tasks.